Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today we're going to talk about my goals for 2024. These are all mostly bookish things that I want to try to implement in 2024. I don't think I did goals last year. I know I didn't do my yearly stats, but I will be doing that this year, and I feel like I'm a little bit more organized with it this year, so I have a better idea of what I'm going to do. My first goal is to start using Notion for content planning. So I did start using Notion. Robin had sent me a couple of YouTube tutorials and they were really helpful, and then after I watched a couple of those, I kind of just ended up winging it, but I'm really enjoying it and it's helping me be so productive and organized, and I love that. My next goal is to start doing monthly stats. I don't particularly feel like I read a ton of books each month. However, with my current spreadsheet, it automatically gives me a monthly breakdown, and I kind of like having that. So I am going to start incorporating monthly stats. Another thing that I want to do is start doing monthly resets. So my stats will probably be a part of my reset rather than in my wrap up, because I'm still going to have my separate wrap up videos. And if you have particular things that you do enjoy in monthly resets, let me know. What I think I'm going to use it for is sort of a little bit of content planning, figuring out certain parts of my TBR and what buddy reads I have coming up. I also want to include some non-bookish things like what I've been watching or music that I've been listening to for that month that I've really enjoyed, so things like that. I think I've said this every year, but I am actually committing to it this year, and I want to read down my physical TBR. I think I've made this a goal for the past 2 years, and haven't really done well with it. So I counted the books on my shelves. I don't remember how many I had. However, I do know that it averages out to about 5 or 6 books a month that I would need to read from my physical TBR. And that's doable. I do anticipate that some of them will be unhauls, probably things that I've had for a really long time and I'm no longer interested in, things like that. So I think that I can finally actually do that this year if I plan ahead for it. So if you don't know, I do not use Goodreads. I think Goodreads is trash. I feel like it's more of a social media app rather than a reading tracker app. I also absolutely hate the Goodreads Choice Awards because they're absolutely trash. Everything's a popularity contest. I don't use Goodreads anymore. Instead, I use the StoryGraph. And so my StoryGraph goal for the year is going to be 60. In 2023, it was 55, I think, and I passed that easily, so I'm gonna up it now. That paired with reading down my shelves are like my 2 main ones that I really want to work on. I also have a few anticipated releases this year, actually. So last year was the first year that I really felt like I paid attention to anticipated releases and really kept up with things that were coming out. So one of the releases that I'm looking forward to this year is The Ending Fire by Sarah El-Arifi. So in preparation for that, I believe it comes out in August, I want to reread both The Final Strife and The Battle Drum. I annotated The Final Strife. I had an arc of The Battle Drum, so now that I have the physical copy, I want to annotate that copy, and if I could get an arc of book 3, that would be amazing, but if not, I also want to annotate a physical copy of that last book in the trilogy. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really hoping that she ends it with a bang. Another series that I want to complete is The African Immortals by Taneri Due. I read the first book for Black Halloween 2022, I read the second book for Black Halloween 2023, and I want to read both the 3rd and 4th books this year. However, I can't read them back to back, they're too long. So my plan is to read Blood Colony sometime at the beginning of the year, and then I'll read the last one sometime in the second half of the year, not necessarily for Black Halloween because I think I'm going with a different path this year, but definitely before the end of the year. Speaking of series, y'all know that I have a series spreadsheet, and shout out to Monet because it is much more advanced now than what I was using before. And another thing that I want to implement is doing regular series check-ins. So I started doing series check-ins I think sometime last year, but now that I have a more detailed spreadsheet, I want to make sure that I'm checking in more consistently, so I'm going to do them quarterly. Because my last one was in December, my check-ins will be in March, June, September, and December moving forward. So that's just the schedule that I'm going to have so that I can consistently check in and see how much progress I'm making. I'm almost always going to be reading a bunch of series, not only for fantasy, but also like romance companion novels, which I really do enjoy. So I have accepted that. And I think that this will just help me sort of gauge how I'm doing what series I want to read next. Do I really need to start another series right now? So on and so forth. So I think that this is going to be really helpful. So those are my goals for 2024. Let me know what your goals for 2024 are, if you have certain things that you'd like to see in monthly resets. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.